The big thing that we're trying today is that I don't have any mana monkeys in the 75, and I'm trying Dead Gone as quicker interaction. This deck has a lot of mana in it already. We effectively, even though there's only 15 lands, with the Border Post, we effectively have 25 lands, and Simeon Spirit Guides is pushing us to 29 mana sources. So Dead Gone is a card that gives us early interaction that we can still play with our Cascade effects because of how the rules have changed to count Dead Gone as a 4-mana card. So with previous iterations of the rules, you couldn't play Dead Gone in these Cascade decks because you'd cascade into the 2-mana part. But now that's no longer the case. And this hand's actually very good. We get to go ahead and suspend Greater Gargadon on 1 and Violent Outburst on 3 into restore balance and like wipe the board out. We did lose to Ponza with the Curses deck in the last league. So remember that border posts require basics, so we're gonna fetch basic mountain here. Go ahead and suspend this Gargadon. Copperline Gorge. Could be Dredge, could be Hallowed Vine. Looks like Dredge. This could be a hard matchup for us. This could be... Although I guess they don't really interact with us. So I guess it's probably fine for us from that perspective. I just like let them get going and then Violent Outburst them and clean everything up. Like I don't really care how quickly they get going. So for those that aren't familiar with this deck, how it works is basically we use one of our Cascade cards to cascade into the card Restore Balance, and Restore Balance equalizes the number of cards in hand, lands in play, and creatures in play between both players. And we can use a card like Greater Gargadon to sacrifice a bunch of our stuff. So basically, it's a Wrath of God Armageddon split card, effectively. I kind of think I'm just gonna aggressively Restore Balance here, since I drew an Ardent Plea. So both of these are Cascade cards. So I could just go ahead and like fetch a basic island here and then like sack both my lands to the Gargadon and like make my opponent discard a card, sack both their lands and sack both their creatures. Is that too aggressive? Their deck's pretty land light, so like taking them off their lands before they get their life from the loam going is pretty appealing. You think I want to wait until end of turn? I guess that's fair. Wait until the end of their turn, because then they'll have more cards in their hand and stuff. He plays a land. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's probably fine. All right, I'm gonna pass here then, because this is an instant, so I can do this at their end of turn. And like we get a third land out of them potentially, which is appealing. We do take a hit for 5, but it's not that big of a deal. Stardic Reunion, sure. This is gonna plow through a bunch of Narcomoebas and stuff too, and they're milling through a lot of their deck. This works out pretty well for us. Hopefully they'll put a third land into play here. More in extras. Not playing a land out. Yeah, I think I still just want to clear their board here. I guess there's a non-zero chance they don't have a land as well, but they can just dredge this Dakmor salvage. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And cast this, and then in response to this, I'm gonna go ahead and sack my lands. So then we cascade into Restore Balance, so my opponent will lose their board, and they'll have to discard 2 cards. It's a pretty good draw. Another border post for us. I'm gonna fetch a basic island here. Put this border post into play. And they dredge the Dakmor salvage, so I assume that means they don't have green mana, which would be good for us. They're gonna need to bring back a bunch of power here, and they have 1 more Dakmor salvage in their graveyard. So I actually need to restore balance again this turn, don't I? Yeah, Dead Gone's just an efficient removal spell. That's exactly correct. No, this is our first game of the league, bub. First game of the league. Yeah, I think I can't just take 8 here, I don't think. Graveyard hit we can play is like explicitly Ravenous Trap. We can also just like wipe their board a couple of times and then like, you know, just beat them down with like a Greater Gargadon. So Garg's coming in pretty soon. He's gonna kill in 2 because of the Exalted trigger. Oh, they do have a green source. That's bad for us. I think we're probably dead to a green source. They have Burning Inquiry in their deck. I didn't notice that earlier. They definitely have Burning Inquiries in their deck. Okay, yep. That is certainly a thing. I think Dredge is a deck that isn't popular enough that I'm worried about sideboarding cards for it. This is, remember, I feel like this is just like, it's very like typical Twitch chat. Like we're playing a matchup and this matchup looks like it might be hard for us, but like you don't randomly just like make a bunch of changes to your modern deck every time you hit a matchup that feels hard, especially if you're playing a tier 2 deck. Like you're not going to beat everything. You're not going to have a chance to win every game of Magic that you play in Modern. That's not how Modern works. You're going to be really sad and frustrated if that's what you're expecting to have happen while playing Modern. It's just a fact of how the format is effectively. And that's okay. It's okay that you're not. It's okay that this matchup seems like it's going to be very hard. We're dead on board, right? Because I can put this into play and block the Amalgam, but then we take 4 and then they conflag us for 5, so we're dead. We're dead regardless. Dead Gone seems pretty bad here. I'm gonna go ahead and trim that. I think we're just gonna end up boarding like they're kind of like burn, just like keep conflagrates off of our back, basically. Yeah, like I said, we don't really have a ton of great tools for this matchup. I think we're just like trading the Dead Gaunt's for the ley lines. What other graveyard decks are you envisioning that are hard matchups for us? Because like, I think our main deck plan is very good against something like Hallowed One. I think their recurring threats are much less scary than something like Prized Amalgam. The reason Dredge is explicitly giving us a hard time is because they have more than just Bloodghast to bring back. Our main deck plan is already very good against what Hallowed One is doing. So again, like, give me matchups other than Dredge where you feel like I really need that. Against Storm, we just take them off their lands and they have a very low land count and they're not going to be able to win the game anymore. So I don't think I really want to rest in peace against Storm either. I also have Leyline against Storm, so like, I have a lot of tools in those other matchups where something like Rest in Peace seems exceedingly narrow and bad. Same thing with Living, and we just wrath their board and take them off their lands, and then our plan was better than their plan, where they're not going to be able to recover against what we did. We can't play the Border Post because we can only Border Post off of basic land, for those that are wondering why I didn't put that into play. Rest in Peace is very slow against Goryo's Vengeance. Rest in Peace is very, very slow against Goryo's Vengeance. Very, very slow. You have to be on the play generally for it to be fast enough, and even then, sometimes it's not fast enough. Even the good decks in Modern have matches where when they sit down across from them, they go, all right, we're only 20% here. Like, that's just how the format is. You want more water? Okay, I'll get you some more water. Hey, here you go. Probably missed the match. Sorry. Have to call a plumber. Apparently, the toilet in my downstairs bathroom is constantly running. I think the seal is broken on the thing in the tank. Should be fun. I think it's okay. We've got Dead Gone as early interaction. We just get to like to develop our mana a little bit. We have Monastery Siege. We have all of our colors. In general, you want to be fairly hesitant about mulliganing functional hands in this deck because this deck doesn't actually have that many basic lands in it. So if you mulligan a close 7, you're very unlikely to get a functional 6. Yeah, I think it's just the seal. I just looked at it briefly. It's not overflowing or anything. It's just running. So I'm just gonna let it run for the next hour while I finish the stream. We're gonna get Ponzid here. Could be Valakut as well. Maybe I should have played the fetch land. Yeah, I think I should have played the fetch land here because if they're playing... Okay, it's actually Valakut. Okay. This matchup's probably pretty good for us, right? Because we get to kill all their lands. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I'm gonna play the Monastery Siege out before I play the As Foretold, because I would like to try and find, what is it? It's cons that lets me loot. Yeah, cons. Wait. Spells. Oh, it's only spells. So it's like, wait, does this make their win condition really bad? No, dragons only affect spells, which sucks. Great. Well, hopefully we find our way to a restore balance effect really quick here. Oh, you know what? I probably should have fetched a Temple Garden. Are we just getting through the breach and we're gonna die? Just talking about how good this matchup is. We're just gonna get fucking gimped. Just gimped out of the game. Fuck. Alright. Good news. We didn't die. Bad news. Probably still gonna lose the game. Okay, yep. This is game one, Burgle. This is game one. Welcome to Thunderdome. I'm gonna cast another Monastery Siege here. We can gone that. That's hilarious. That's really funny. This is better than Emrakul because they can cast this card, chat. They can cast this card. Remember, you're not getting to 15 mana to actually cast Emrakul particularly often. So while it was worse than Emrakul in this specific instance with Through the Breach, in general, it's probably fine. So again, like, one thing Magic players like to do in general is that you only like to think about cards in like their best case and worst case scenarios, which is like, in the best case scenario, yes, this is worse than Emrakul with Through the Breach. But in like an average case scenario where you haven't drawn both halves of your combo, basically, the Windfall Primus is like a better average card, effectively. Okay, so we need a green source for that. Oh, we can just restore balance off of the As Foretold now, right? Yep. Huh. So I'm doing this. I'm casting this As Foretold. So do I want to get rid of one more land from their side of the table? Or do I want to keep one more card in my hand? Well, they play, you can only play 4 Titans. You can only play 4 Titans. So they have 1 card in their hand. So I'm gonna have to discard down to 1 card when I restore balance here. So is it greedy to put my land into play so I keep an extra land? Keeping them at 4 lands and 1 card seems fine, right? You think I want to get rid of 1 more land? I guess I can play Gideon. Like, not having a 4th land is really bad if I draw Nahiri, but I guess I'm pretty likely to draw more anyways. I can also just keep this as my 1 card, right? Yeah, let's just do that. I'm just gonna keep the plains as my 1 card, I think. Gonna keep the plains as my 1 card. This is the 2nd match in this league. We lost the 1st match to Dredge. We are 0-1 to start. Yeah, that's fair, Burgle. I like that assessment. I like the dead gons aren't really doing anything anyways. Choose a card, then click done. All right. Oh, you know what? I should have kept the plains in my hand because if I draw a green source, I'd much rather have a green source, right? And also, like, keeping the land in my hand is better in case we draw, like, another restore balance. I think I'd rather have a Borderpost than this Gargadon, but maybe that's an incorrect assessment. And I'm not going to replay this Plains here in case I draw a restore balance or a Cascade card. This also lets me, like, discard this to Monastery Siege next turn. So we've got 3 copies of Restore Balance and 8 Cascade cards in my deck, and we're getting to draw 2 cards a turn here. So this is really kind of feel the power of our engine getting going here. Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just want to, yeah, this Ardent Plea should basically be the game. So this Ardent Plea is going to take them off of 2 lands, and it's going to make them discard down to 1 card in hand. Just like balance you. So sacrifice 2 lands, discard a card. Go. Oh, he discarded an Outburst. You're right. You're right. And they're much better against us than a normal. Like Titan Shift is probably a slam dunk unlosable matchup for this deck. Because they have Through the Breaches, it's a little bit scarier for us. Discard this Detention Sphere. And again, now I'm going to use this and pick this land up. And now we can discard this land later. And also, like, it puts less lands in play. So my next Restore Balance is going to take them off of more lands. I think I'm probably just going to Restore Balance again this turn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just want to Restore Balance. So I'm going to cast this using As Foretold. I'm going to plus Nahiri, discarding this Plains in case we had a Gargadon. And then I'm just going to go ahead and Cascade here and take them off of 2 lands and make them discard a card. Because Nahiri's going to ult in 2 turns. Would love to cast Restore Balance. So they'll sack 2 lands and discard a card. Just good clean living, really. Good clean living. Go. They have Spirit Guides in their deck too? Yeah. The opponent is not giving up. You're not wrong. They are in. They are all in. That one. There's Emrakul, yep. Spend this. Well, most games 4 Restore Balances is enough to win, but we can discard Emrakul to put them back into our deck. But generally speaking, you don't usually need more than 4 Restore Balances to win the game. Like, if you need more than 4, you probably weren't winning anyways. This isn't a tilt. Monastery Siege is going to put it back into our deck here. Part of me wants to just, like, Restore Balance them out of the game, but let's just Emrakul them out of the game. Actually, they might not concede here. Maybe I should have. All right, now they're done. They've had enough. They've had enough. All right. Monastery Siege seems good. Dead Gone seems really bad. I guess Leyline of Sanctity is coming in. We don't really have a lot of good cards for this matchup, but like I said, I think we're pretty far ahead anyways. Detention Sphere doesn't really accomplish much, right? I guess it takes one of their fatties off the table, potentially. I don't know. No, yeah, I think this is it. Dead Gone's probably even a little bit better than this. Because of, like, bouncing their Titan. I'd like to say thank you to everybody for hanging out here this morning. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer here on Twitch. I stream Magic 30, sometimes 40 hours a week. If you're enjoying the content, please make sure you tap that follow button at the very least. It doesn't cost you anything. It lets you know when I go live and what I'm going live with. Again, I'm very hesitant to mulligan hands that, like, have lands and spells. Jacqueline. So, in the mornings, I have Declan around in the background, so sometimes we have some background noise. My afternoon streams on Monday through Wednesday are kid-free. Declan, you're adorable even if you're loud. I think the only graveyard deck that I think is reasonable in Legacy right now is Red-Black Reanimator, because it's just so hard and fast and all in. Ooh, they're playing... Okay, so they're playing a Nahiri package. Oh, that's That's rude. That's rude. Alright, we're gonna bring in our wear chairs. Cut these cards that probably aren't very good anyways and bring in wear chair. Some of our hands can beat Stony Silence. That was not one of them. Without wear chair in my deck, they were pretty unlikely to win that game, so sideboard cards confirmed good in Modern. Weird. I'm gonna keep this. It's like I said, don't mulligan hands that are mostly functional. We have a wear chair, we have a Gideon. We ended up 3-2 with the Curses deck. It was a confirmed Modern deck, ended up 3-2. This is probably going to be... I guess this is going to get a red source, so we can splice this wear tear. You can play Gids next turn. It does suck that we need green still for this. Gideon's a really fast clock, though, which is nice. I mean, I think what people probably mean when they say Grixis Shadow isn't a blue deck, what they probably mean is that I think a lot of people try and, like, tote Grixis Shadow. Okay, well, now I'm just going to play this Monastery Siege. I feel like a lot of people try and, like, tote Grixis Shadow as, like, this interactive mid-range deck, when in reality, Grixis Shadow is this tempo aggressive deck that's just, like, really brutal and runs people out of the game. Monastery Siege has been a card that's really impressive to me. Just like getting to see 2 cards every single turn, even though it's not strict card advantage, feels really good. I wonder if they have their Stony Silence and they just like, yeah, they don't have green mana. They were just like keeping on the back of that. Weird. Extra card here. Yes, I'm just binning some lands. I really don't need a bunch of those. I'm gonna go and play big Gids here. I'm gonna plus him up right away so that way we get out of range of Lightning Bolt before we start beating our opponent down. Gideon's another card that really impressed me last time we played this deck. I think that's just like a very powerful card in Modern in general. And he's a quick clock that like also forces like aggressive and mid-range opponents to extend more creatures out onto the board so restore balance can be better. We could just get through the Breached and die here. They have Simian Spirit Guide in their deck. Alright, so we really need a balance effect here. Yeah, this is what I was expecting. I feel like they kept kind of a weak hand based on the back of Stony Silence being in there. So let's tear the crap out of that. You come again. Ardent Plea. Well, I said I wanted a restore balance effect, and that unfortunately does not qualify. Am I just binning my mountain here? I think I'm just binning my mountain here. The Valakut's not hitting me next turn regardless. I'm just gonna make this a 4/4. I'm not playing this land out because I want less lands in play if we eventually restore balance. So kind of unfortunate. We wanted an Ardent Plea or a green source there. The fact that we have a restore balance in hand now does mean that As Foretold is a live draw as well to get to balance the opponent. So hopefully they don't put a big scary into play this turn. And then we get to... Hopefully they just like play some more ramp spells this turn. And we get 2 shots at a lot of different cards to take them off a bunch of lands next turn. Reclamation Sage. I assume this is going to kill my Monastery Siege. Yeah, Naturalize is very good against us. So here's hoping for we get 1 shot. Get 1 shot at a lot of those effects now. But we've got how many green sources are in our deck? I've got 6 fetches left, 7, and then I have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 13 cards that are very good draws here. It's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and just wear the crap out of that one or tear that. That right on off the table there. Can you use your words, Nahiri? Tell me, articulate yourself. I should play black instead of blue because the black cards fix X problems and Y matchups. The blue cards are less than ideal because you shouldn't make changes to decks just to make changes to them. You should make changes with purpose. You should make a change and add or subtract a color because you're looking to solve problems that an archetype has. So I'm open to doing different things, but I need you to sell me on it. I need you to tell me why making that change is a good idea. I will say I've been impressed with the ability to have As Foretold in the deck, as well as Monastery Siege, as well as the fact that if you don't have blue, you lose Ardent Plea, but I guess you pick up Demonic Dread. Demonic Dread is not quite as good as Ardent Plea, but it's close. Well, you can't actually play one cost hand disruption in this deck because you'd cascade into it. So, like, off the top of my head, I'm actually not sure what cards I'm getting that are meaningful from adding black to the deck. But maybe I'm missing something. That's why I always, like, you know, if someone wants to make a suggestion, like, talk to me about it. Don't just be like, you should do this thing because I said we should do this thing. It's actually one of the reasons I really like decks like this, because like the cascade adds like so many little details to the deck. It's like, well, you can't do that because it like doesn't fit in with everything else the deck's doing. Come on, one of our 13 cards to restore balance here, please. Please, one of my 13 cards to restore balance here. That gives us redraws, but they've got a lot of scary stuff in play at this point. Well, hopefully their hand just keeps being bricks here. Again, I'm keeping these lands in my hand because when we do eventually restore balance, I want to take the maximum amount of resources away from my opponent, and their lands are one of their most important resources. Oh, they're 2 mountains away from getting to start shooting things, right? Maybe I should have plussed Gideon on the Valakut here. Yeah, I probably should have plussed Gideon on the Valakut here, right? It makes a Titan a much worse draw. Yeah, I think that was probably the case. I was probably supposed to... Yeah. I didn't uptick Gideon on the Valakut because I didn't think about it, because my opponent didn't have a lot of mountains for a very long time this game. Oh, and they have Through the Breach? Okay, so it actually didn't matter. It actually didn't matter. We're just very dead. That's really unfortunate. I feel like we got really unlucky this game. We had what? We had like 5 draws at 13 cards. This is going to deal 24 to us. They get 2 mountains here and deal 18 plus 6. Oh, we were gonna get there next turn. Gonna get there next turn. Womp womp. I really wish they'd get rid of the chat function on Magic Online. My opponent gave us the old winners BM after hitting the Titan there. Just like, come on, why do you gotta be rude? I personally prefer the Scape Shift version, but I also don't have a lot of experience with it. I think having more 1-mana win the game cards is probably good. It feels to me like your Titans probably win the game enough on their own that you don't need Through the Breaches, but I also find that archetype in general very, very boring, so I don't have a lot of experience playing it, so my opinion shouldn't hold a lot of weight on them. BM stands for bad manners, just like being rude in chat after you win the game. We've played 2 leagues with the Blue Red Prison deck. You can always answer for yourself what decks have we played recently by checking out my YouTube channel. All the things that I've streamed get uploaded there. You can give it an old search for whatever archetypes you want to see and see when's the last time we played it. I think we're going to play some more Prison tonight. I think I'm going to pop back online after Christy's home from work. This hand's okay. Doesn't have any border posts in it, but it has everything else we want to do. Lead on this. Yeah, I remember the last time someone donated for the Valakut deck, we got like 3 matches in, and we ended up finding a mirror match, and it was just so terribly boring that I was just like, we're never playing this deck ever again. I think you should read Bring to Light if you think Bring to Light can get curses. Reading your magic cards makes them a lot easier to understand. I might have finished the entire box of chocolates. Yeah. It might have been a thing I did. Shadow, or are we opting? Probably Shadow. Smells like Shadow. No, not this deck. I actually like this deck case, but we were talking about Titan Shift. We were talking about Titan Shift and how it's miserable and terrible and boring. Temple Garden here. Fetch basic island with this one, have all of our colors. This is my border post. My border post is amazing. Please don't call against command my border post, opponent. Gone is actually pretty funny in this matchup against their Delve creatures. I mean, that's how tempo decks play out, Full Metal Alchemist. You're either ahead by a ton or just get hosed. If they play one threat here, I think I'm going to play Gideon. Sure, resolves. Well, they can't take the Dead Gone because that one costs 4. But they could go in a lot of different directions. I think they're probably supposed to take the As Foretold here because taking the As Foretold makes the restore balance worse. I guess they could be debating taking the Violent Outburst because that also lets me restore balance. Yeah, our hand is pretty redundant. Maybe they just want to take the Gideon because it's like the non-redundant card in the hand. If we lose this matchup, Zach, I'm probably going to play at least one more. We're in a friendly league, so we're not dead for prizes until all the matches are gone, which is another nice thing about friendly leagues. You're always playing for something. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what they take here really depends on the context of what their hand is, for sure. It really depends on the context of their hand. Yeah, the prize structure in the friendly leagues is flatter. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Magic Online, the going 3-2 in a friendly league or a competitive league is literally the exact same prizes. You get your entry fee back plus 1 treasure chest. And then the other difference between the two is that competitive leagues award qualifier points, which I can never play in MOX tournaments anyways, so those are meaningless to me. And they're more top heavy. So if you like to gamble more, you should play competitive leagues. But the game quality is pretty much the same in friendly leagues versus non-friendly leagues, in my experience playing a lot of Magic Online. As someone who's logged probably 4 digits worth of matches in both, the play quality and deck quality is very similar. You're gonna find good and bad players in both. Why can I never play in MOX tournaments? Because playing in MOX tournaments is a terrible, terrible value perspective for me. My day, if I was going to spend an entire day playing Magic Online, I am better off streaming for that entire day than I am playing in a MOX tournament. The EV on streaming is much higher than the EV on playing a MOX tournament. And before someone says, but wait, Jeff, just stream the MOX. Streaming MOXes, if you care about the result, leads to ghosting. Downtime in between matches also sucks. It leads to doing things like double queuing or playing other games, which makes you lose viewers. So honestly, I'd rather... Oh, geez, another discard spell. So they're going to take the Violent Outburst now, and then I can't restore balance them next turn. Really? Let's draw Gargadon. Gargadon is probably the game win here, because Gargadon would let us get rid of all of their lands and discard a bunch of cards out of their hand. Playing with a delay is bad content as well. Playing with a hand blocker is bad content as well. My goal when I'm streaming is to make good Magic content, and hand blockers and delays don't do that. You're right, they are better if I'm looking to have a competitive edge or not lose my competitive edge, but honestly, I'd rather just not do it, right? Man, if they tap out here again, that would be so insane for us. We get to Gargadon and then Violent Outburst them. They're probably not very likely to tap out. Probably not very likely to tap out. Going on, Dino? Yep. That's a border post. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and plus... I kind of want all of the cards in my hand, don't I? I guess I could... Yeah, the delay would remove the insane competitive advantage that I get from having Twitch chat present. And everybody knows I'm a really mediocre Magic player, so I need Twitch chat to give me my edge. For those of you that are new and have never played against Death Shadow before, we're gonna get stubborn denialed, because that's what happens. You always get stubborn denialed. So I'm gonna go ahead and suspend this Gargadon. And then during my opponent's upkeep, I'm going to Gone the Gurmag Angler. The classic 3-mana unsummon. Get it out of here. Give him a colonoscopy. Let's clean him out. Mana Leak. That is not the card I was expecting. Okay. Okay. That was not the Magic card I was expecting. Okay, I have an important question for chat. No, I was gonna say, who wants to go all in? I was gonna go all in and then we got Inquisitioned. So now we can't go all in. All right, hopefully we draw a Cascade card here. So I'm gonna actually give them a chance to counter this Gone, because I want them to counter this, because if we draw a Cascade spell, I'd much rather the Cascade spell resolve. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a Mana Leak in this deck either. Sweet. Okay. So if we draw a Cascade spell, they die. If we draw a Cascade spell, they're going to lose their board, they're going to lose all of their lands, they're literally going to lose everything. So we've got seven Cascade spells in our deck here, chat. We're 7 out of 44 to win the game. 7 out of 44 to win the game. Survey says. Ayo! Da 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 da. Okay, so for those that haven't seen the Restore Balance deck before, this is what it does. We're gonna go ahead and float those colors of mana right there. I'm gonna sacrifice this land. I'm gonna sacrifice this land. I'm gonna sacrifice this land. I'm gonna cast this Cascade card. I'm gonna cast Restore Balance. My opponent's gonna lose their hand. They're gonna lose their board. Your move, Yugi boy. This is all I got. Balance has been restored. Ship it. Man, I'm glad they snapped Mana Leaked us. That was great. Alrighty. Alright. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ooh, I drew a land. So lucky. So lucky. My body is ready to die still. I mean, sure. Trigger. Stop hitting him! He's dead! He's dead! Why do you keep hitting him? Stop hitting him! They're actually dead this turn because this gives Exalted, which means this is gonna attack for 10. It's just good deck building, really. It's just good deck building. I don't actually know if they're playing Death Shadow. Yeah, not sure. We actually haven't seen. They're playing like Mana Leaks and Remands. Do I want these ley lines? They didn't Thought Seize us, right? They just Inquisitioned, and we saw Spell Snare, Remand, and Mana Leak. I don't actually think I want these. I think someone's right that they could be playing Delver. These Ricochet Traps seem okay. When our opponent activates our trap card. Did they Thought Seize? They cast Thought Seize too? We didn't see Street Wraith. I think I'm gonna trim a Nahiri because it's clunky. Maybe they're just like a Delve threat deck. So Simian Spirit Guide is fine in this deck. The problem is Simian Spirit Guide is more mana in a deck that already has an exceptional amounts of mana, right? I think they're just playing like a Grixis mid-range deck. And I don't think I want to bring in Leyline against all of their counter magic. I'm gonna do this and see how it feels. I'm gonna do this. Easy mulligan here. I'm gonna keep this with Scribes on the draw. Basic land means border posts are live draws, so mulliganing to 5 is not a winning recipe against a discard deck. And again, mulligans like this are where you have to ask yourself, what is more likely to happen? Am I more likely to run off lands and border posts with this hand, or am I more likely to have a winning 5-card hand? And I think the answer in this deck is I'm more likely to draw one of my other 24 mana sources than I am to win on a low starting hand count. I love people that come in from other Twitch channels and just like don't understand how it works here. They're just like, I think they get to just say random bullshit. Just clutter the chat, take a 10-minute timeout. Come back when you've got something constructive to say. Maybe I actually want less Gargadons, because if they have counterspells, I'm less likely to want to be all in. I think I'm going to do that with that logic and leave some more removal in. What's going on, Zach? To be fair, and part of the reason why I moved to like timing people out instead of banning them is because we run this chat's very different than most of the rest of Twitch, right? Like most of the people are used to just like most Twitch chats just being like this random spamming of emotes. Hey, to Carp75 with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So my subscribers are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. So thank you for helping me be here and doing what I do. Everyone out there's having a good morning, good solid Friday, good start to your weekend, hopefully. Yeah, the only way to really get banned here these days is to be really belligerent, or you have to come back and complain about getting timed out. Those are easy do-overs. Which of my 4 restore balances would you like to take, opponent? Dealer's choice. It is a real shame I don't have steam vents in my deck, because this has to choose between getting red and getting blue. I've never been timed out. I want to complain about it. There you go. There you go. Welcome to the club. You got there. You got there. You beat me to it, man. I was going to get him, too. I was going to get him. I love the mods. Just like, I was like, I've never been timed out before. It's like a hyena's pouncing. Just like, oh, we're going to get him. We're going to get him. We got a green light. Someone wanted it. All right. Am I supposed to play this Gideon of the Trials into this like really obvious counterspell? They're gonna have a counterspell at some point, right? Ah, Justin got him. Justin got him that time. Yeah, I feel like I just need to like play through their counterspells here, as opposed to like, we don't really like, we have Ricochet Traps in our deck, but like trying to play around them is really going to be long and difficult. One white duress, basically, right? For those that are new to Twitch, getting timed out just means you can't post in chat for 10 minutes. That's what it means. It's just, That's what the emote means. The emote is a 10 with a dunce cap on it. It's a 10-minute timeout. This is how you get timed out in style, boys. Hit me. Thank you for the bits, Strax. I appreciate it. What are the runners up for the Gideon slot? I think the Gideon slot is actually just very good. I think Gideon is a card that you want to be playing in this deck. Do I want to just take my opponent off 2 lands here? I kind of do. I'm just gonna go ahead and cast this. Like I said, I feel like they probably have counter spells, but they probably just want to play through it anyways. Nope. I get my Ardent Plea into play here. Everybody, modern staple Ardent Plea, get my exalted triggers. No, it doesn't kick them off the stream. They can continue watching. You can be banned in a Twitch chat and continue watching the stream, which means you can't post in chat. See, that qualifies as obnoxious. You say something like that again and you'll get a permanent ban. That qualifies as obnoxious. There's no reason to say something like that. The only reason to say something like that is to be rude. All right. I think I'm just gonna take another swing here, right? So I think I'm going to go ahead and cast this Ardent Plea here before I play my land, because I'd like to take them off of 3 lands. We do also only have a finite number of restore balances unless we can manage to shuffle our library. All right, so this is another one. So there's only one more restore balance in my deck. Do I want to play this Flooded Strand is a real question. I think I probably do. I think there's a good chance none of our balances resolve this game. So I just like have the land fetched out of my deck, I think. Get my other Ardent Plea into play here. So our Emrakuls can be exalted. I think my favorite part about how we moderate chat here is whenever someone posts anything related to me on Reddit, there's always like lots of people complaining that that they can't talk in my chat. Because Magic Online is quality software, is the answer to that question. I'm gonna get Sacred Foundry here. To Gids. All right, I'm gonna cast Monastery Siege. Try and get this down before they gas up with Ancestral Vision. I always feel kind of bad for those people. Like their life is so sad that like they have to like direct random amounts of hate towards someone they've never met on the internet. Another mana leak. Well, that's a little brutal. Hopefully we draw Ricochet Trap next turn so we could force through this, our last restore balance. All right, crazy hates. I'm not gonna lie. I got like 5 words into your message there. I was like, all right, I'm gonna time this mother out. And then I got to the end and you made me smile. So props. Props. No, don't time them out. No, it was funny. They were funny. Stop it. That was funny, Justin. Untime them out. That was funny. That was clever. Justin. We've kind of been getting dumpstered, Bob. We've kind of been getting dumpstered. Yeah, we lost to Dredge, we lost a close. The Valakut matchup was close. This one's been hard. The counterspell decks are probably tough matchups, right? It's a risky business trying to like bank on me laughing when you troll. We finished 3-2 with the Curses deck. It was a lot of fun. We might rebuild a different Curses deck because the actual Curse engine felt really powerful. Ricochet Trap. I think I'm just gonna go for the D here. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna play the Ardent Plea because if they have another counterspell, we're probably dead anyways to a lightning bolt. So I'm just gonna go for the gusto and try and get all go for all the fixins here. And they just drew 4 cards, so like pretty likely dead. Yeah, good games, opponent. All right, it's been a tough league. I feel like we hit 2 hard matchups and then ran a little bit bad in a third. Let's play one more. I don't have to be gone. I've got another 4:35 minutes or so before Jake gets off the bus. Let's play a 4th match here and see if we can rally back and get a W here. I don't know how I feel about the Dead Gons. We haven't played any matches where they'd be really good, right? Like Dead Gone is like good against like humans, and it would be good against like Burn and like the small creature decks, and we haven't played against any of those yet. Any rate, thank you everyone for hanging out through the end of the stream this morning. If you want to see more excellent modern content, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. Literally days and days of content on there. I stream 30 plus hours a week, so there's a bunch of it. You could also, if you want to catch more live content, I'm going to be back tonight. I think probably about 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm going to fire back up. We're taking the kids out for a little bit, and then I think I'm going to go to the gym, but I'll be back after that. Justin and Anoronics are splitting that ad now. They are. Between the two of them, they are a big part of why I'm streaming so much. The abuse I have endured from your mods has earned you my very first Twitch sub ever. Well, thank you for that. I feel about this hand. This hand's probably fine. I'm gonna go with probably fine. It's close. It's close. But again, like I said, I'm very weary to mulligan hands that are functional at all with this deck, just because of how few lands the deck plays. There's only 15 lands, and generally you need a basic or a fetch land to get going. So I chose not to fetch a blue source on turn 1. Just coming back to bite us here. Oh, I also don't have double white, right? Yeah, my fetching was really bad. I thought this was I had this as a white border post in my mind. I definitely should have gone plains border post on 1 and then fetched a Hallowed Fountain with that land. It definitely should have been a Hallowed Fountain there. And at the very least, I should have played this plains out last turn, right? Contract, you have to make sure in your desktop web browser, and there will be a subscribe button above the player on the top right. If you click on that, there'll be a free sub option. I think we're probably dead here because of my misfetching. Or like draw another white source, like punish having played this last turn too. Blue source? Blue source? Yeah. Yep. I suppose we could hit Violent Outburst and kill them still, right? If we hit Violent Outburst, we'll just like discard, we'll clear their entire board. So we'll keep going here to try and find that. Because I didn't fetch a blue source though. Okay, now we're dead. Now we're dead. Sirlon Gnome with the 213 subscription. Because I watch you pretty much daily and annoy my wife at the same time. Cheers. Thank you very much for putting your Twitch Prime towards my channel again this month. There's a lot of excellent streamers out there, so thanks for re-upping your fun money here. Thank you for that. So Dead Gone kills Dark Confidant, but I'm pretty sure that's not good enough. I just want ley lines in this matchup. The extra Monastery Siege seems okay too. I'm gonna trim a Gideon because he's not amazing against Bloodbraid Elf. Let's give this a go. Biggest regular constructed player on Twitch. I guess that would be up to debate on if Caleb counts as a regular constructed player. I'm not sure how much limited he plays, because Caleb's like the biggest Magic streamer on Twitch currently. I'm not sure if he does actual draft. I know he does a lot of cube, but he plays a fair amount of constructed as well. Yeah, I agree, Burgle. Honestly, Dead Gone might just be a sideboard card, and if it's a sideboard card, maybe Rough Tumble's just better. I put Dead Gone in with the intention of like having it be good against like humans and bird and small creature decks. Contract K with the brand new Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate you figuring out how to do that. For putting your Amazon fund money towards my channel this month. Yeah, honestly, maybe the Dead Gone should just be main deck ley lines. Leyline's pretty good in Modern in general right now, and it's another card that hedges burn similar to Dead Gone, or in a different way than Dead Gone. Yeah, it seems pretty good, right? It needs a blue source, but like has Leyline Gargadon. Yeah, the goal of that slot, Burgle, was to be able to have things to do before the third turn of the game. That was like the goal of like what that slot is like trying to do for me. Okay. All right. So this is like the nuts, right? We're gonna have to go ahead and just like clear their board, kill all their lands, and kill all their plays. They could have a Disenchant here, Abrupt Decay, Ancient Grudge to kill our border post. Yeah. What would I have to do to get banned? You'd probably have to like go after people in the chat personally, or be like exceptionally racist or homophobic. I wouldn't allow that in my chat. Those will be things that'll get you banned no matter how much money you're sending me. Oh, I forgot to sack it to the Garg. Yeah, I forgot to sack it to the Garg. You're right. I'll leave the Gargadon window up so I don't miss that again in the future. Per usual, the answer to the question why didn't you make the good play was because I didn't think about it. Yeah, I think it has enough counters though, Zach, that it was probably worthwhile doing it. Like, we don't have that many lands that we're gonna bin. So we're looking for a green source or an Ardent Plea to wrap this game up, most likely. Regular, just drawing actual factual restore balance would also be very good, because we could As Foretold it. They're inquisitioning themselves to make their goyfs larger. I like this. It's a good line. Just like discard a discard spell to get a sorcery in the bin. Good line from the opponent. I didn't play As Foretold because I wasn't thinking about it. It also gets As Foretold killed. Actually, no. I retract my statement. I didn't play As Foretold because I didn't want to get it destroyed. I didn't Detention Sphere the Tarmogoyf's last turn for this reason here. My health total can be used pretty liberally as a resource because I have this Leyline of Sanctity. So feel pretty comfortable using my health total as a resource with Leyline to protect me. And like now, I'm going to clean up their lands and their board here. Like, if we hadn't hit a Cascader or a way to play Violent Outburst this turn, we would have had the Detention Sphere of the boys. I could have played the As Foretold, but then that cuts me off of being able to play Restore Balance if I drew it, if my opponent had an Abrupt Decay or a Maelstrom Pulse Burgle. And like, I think just having the 2 Gargadons here is going to be plenty to beat my opponent. I think giving myself 4 extra outs and playing around I think that was worthwhile. Opponents had enough. I can definitely see an argument being made to play it like maybe I'm playing around too much there by that sequence, but I think we're not supposed to. This feels Tron-like. It does have some pretty skewed matchups. So I've talked a lot about keeping hands that are close, but I think the mana is bad enough in this hand. And I have Leylines in this matchup, and the Leylines are very good. So I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this because I could mulligan for Leylines. And this hand is much better when it has a Leyline in it. I would love to top this basic planes and put this into play. Just figured out the share button isn't used to share on Facebook. For XT and Mana Type, thank you very much for the 4-month resubscription. I appreciate that. A third of the year. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. So this is our third mana source. So on turn 3, we'll get to Ardent Plea. Although we might just Monastery Siege first, see what else we have going on. Oh no! Oh no! It's a little brutal. A little brutal. Hey, Stark Quark with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much for putting your Amazon Fund money towards my channel this month. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for helping me do what I do here every day. Okay, hitting some lands at least here. Wow, okay, so their hand just must be like mono discard, right? What's going on, Nam? Morning. To play Monastery Siege out here. Put this on cons. You got a block? I've been on a working vacation. Like you traveled for work? Maelstrom Pulse, okay. All right, 2 shots at land here to play this other Leyline out. 2 shots at the land to play this other Leyline out. Get the old backup Leyline in here. Tilt. Do I put this on dragon so they just can't kill my stuff? Nah, I'm gonna put it on cons. If they have another Maelstrom Pulse, they have another Maelstrom Pulse. Oh, it does make their discard spells cost 3, doesn't it? That's interesting. Gross. Looking to dodge like BBE here. Smells like that's what it is, unfortunately. Yep. Yep. Maybe I should have kept both Nahiris to play around Thoughtseize. I don't know. Feel like that could go either way. And they have a bolt too. Huh. Huh. I think I'm supposed to bin the Gargadon here. Because I can't really fetch shock this turn anyways. And if I draw As Foretold, I want to do that with the Restore Balance. Alright, well, push came to shove. We need more Nahiris, people. Need more Nahiris. Honest question, do you feel this is worth continuing to work on? I don't know, Bob. I feel like we got a little bit unlucky and we hit some bad matchups, but like that's kind of like modern in a nutshell, right? This can kill their creature, which is sweet. So I'm gonna plus this and not discard. So when they fire up this treetop village and attack, we'll make them discard their hand and they'll lose the treetop village. All right, or we'll just cast it in response to this. So they'll have to sacrifice 2 lands here and discard their hand. They've had enough. All right, yeah, I think the Jund matchup's pretty good with this deck. All right, I'm gonna try and start this last match. Fair warning, I'm gonna open my blinds here. If this match takes more than 20 minutes or so, I'm gonna have to concede, or at least finish it off stream. Jake's bus have to be outside to pick Jacob off the bus. What are my thoughts about Mardu Pyromancer? But I think Mardu Pyromancer is very good against a lot of the fair mid-range decks in Modern, but I'm not sure if there's enough fair mid-range decks in Modern for it to be worthwhile. I think the Prison deck is much better than this. I think the Prison deck is very reasonable, and it feels really powerful. I also think the Prison deck's more interesting to play. Like, Toolbox decks have a lot of lines that are very complex, and I enjoy them more. This deck's doing, like, an objectively powerful thing, but that seems okay. Like I said, keep hands that are functional. I think I'm just suspending Gargadon on one here. I think I'm gonna go fetch Sacred Foundry, suspend Gargadon. And, like, Jake's 4, so, like, the bus pulls up right in front of my house so I can see it from my window here. That's fair. We can probably finish the match. Most matches of Modern take less than 20 minutes, so. To be fair, Zach, Kiki Jiki was never a very good deck. I think that the Artifact deck is actually very good. Have Declan get Jake off the bus. Tron. Wonder how this matchup is. It's probably not terrible, right? We can Stone Rain them a bunch. Yep. Yeah, we've played 2 leagues on stream with the Bridge Bottled Cloister Tezzeret deck. And we're probably going to play another one tonight. We've got it in the donation queue a couple of times. Sweet. Opponent's not going to have turn 3 Tron, so that gives us a lot of time to find some more tools here. We're going to play this on Khan's next turn and start looting through our deck. Dead Gone. Not particularly useful here. So, looking for any Cascade card or a, what's it called? I'm blanking on the name. As Foretold. What are my thoughts on Bluetron in Modern? We have a command just for that. Did they fetch a forest? They did fetch a forest, alright. Maybe they don't realize they need to go fast against us. Wow, that's a bad beat for them. Well, I know what we're discarding. That one. Goodbye, Emrakul. And pick this back up. Put this into play. Spend this. Pass the turn. Yeah, the foils on Magic Online are not particularly nice looking. Alright, we've got 2 more shots. We got 2 more shots of like 8 things. This is a Walking Ballista. Yeah, I don't care about that. Card I'm most excited for in Dominaria. The new Angel sounds great. Really looking forward to the new Angel. Well, that's a Nahiri, so that gives us more redraws, I guess. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna floop this into play. I'm gonna cast Nahiri. Almost done, Declan. Then we're gonna go hang out upstairs. Eat some lunch. I'm gonna bin this island. Alright, don't Tron me. Don't Tron me. Don't Tron me. Don't Tron me. You're very funny, Declan. You're a good little parrot. They trading Walking Ballista for Nahiri here. We're okay with that, considering we're going to discard their hand and all of their lands next turn. What do you think, chat? Do you think my opponent is attached to their hand? What do we think, chat? Do you think this is going to be a concession balance? It's feeling like a concession balance to me. It's the case study of hands you should mulligan with try. So it's actually kind of unfortunate here. No, actually it's not unfortunate at all, right? I just play this, sacrifice this, sacrifice this, sacrifice this. I can't play both of these this turn because I only have one blue source. Trigger. Discard down to one card, lose all your lands, go. Wait, I'm just supposed to put this into play and attack for 10 twice, right? Oh, they don't want to play Magic anymore. That's weird. All right, so Dead Gone again, looking pretty unimpressive. I want these wear chairs to destroy Oblivion Stones, I think. And I'll bring in the Monastery Siege. Yeah, all right. Easy peasy, in and out. Flawless victory. Ho! 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 Oh, Declan. Your teachers are gonna hate me. Your teachers are going to hate me. I don't understand why this child is so obnoxious. Have you met his father? Everything shall be made clear once you meet the father. If we get turn 3 Trond, we're going to be in trouble. If we don't get turn 3 Trond, we're going to get him. We drew the Gargadon too. God bless. God bless us, everyone. Teachers hate all children. Not my precious Johnny. That's so rude, opponent. Why would you be so rude to me? That's so incredibly rude, opponent. Why would 1 mana Stone Rain? Watsy, please nerf. Watsy, how is this reasonable? Can you believe Wizard of the Coast would print 1 mana Stone Rain into Modern? How is this fair? Reverse Molten Rain. You like to party, chat? Anybody in chat like to party? I like to party. Greater Gargadon likes to party. Yeehaw! All right, so during their draw step, we're going to Violent Outburst them, because this will draw them up to 5 cards, which means we won't have to discard. All right, so draw step, float green. I guess I could get Warping Wailed here. If I get Warping Wailed, I'm going to feel really bad. Maybe I should have done this while they tapped out. Just discard a card out of my hand. This also gives them a chance to draw. Holy shit, we got Warping Whale, chat. Holy God. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Look at the mistakes I have made. Look at the terrible mistake that I have made. Holy man. Holy moly. Got, right? I put the Warping Whale into their hand. Alright, looking for As Foretold and things that restore balance. Yeah! Discard a card. Detention Sphere? Probably Detention Sphere. I'm just gonna bank on them not having another one. Oh, God! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! So, the whales, they warp! We're warping, chat! We're warping back and forth and back and forth! Oh, no! We could have just won the game if I would have done it during my end step while they were tapped out. They put a counter on here like a big silly and we could have got him. Yeah, we're still fine. We're still fine. You need to appreciate dramatic effect, okay? You need to appreciate the, oh, they don't. All right. All right, we got any cascade card. Any cascade card here. 2 shots at a cascade card, chat. I wonder what we're discarding. We flew, exactly, we flew too close to the sun. We got to shuffle in our restore balances. This is great. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a plains here. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a plains. Yes, this. I'm actually gonna bin the Gideon because I want to be able to use this via, what's it called? We should suspend the restore. Nope, not even a little. Moto, we binned that Gideon, right? Magic Online, I'm not sure if you understand here. So we've got 3 looks here, chat. We've got 3 looks. We've got 3 looks at 10 cards. 3 looks at 10 cards here. We also have wear tears to kill this, I suppose. Okay, that does let us answer this. Yes! Victory! Hiya! Hadouken! Hadouken! Ah! We like to party. We like to party. Bum bum ba dum bum. Bum bum ba dum ba dum bum. Bum bum ba dum bum. Bum bum ba dum ba dum bum. Bum bum ba dum bum. Bum bum ba dum ba dum bum. Balance has been restored. What a crazy, silly modern format. I think this deck's fun. I think these Dead Gons were probably bad. The more I play the deck, the more like it probably should just have Simian Spirit Guides. Monastery Siege constantly overperformed. Was really happy with this card. Nahiri is fine in general. Honestly, I kind of wouldn't mind getting a third As Foretold in this deck. I feel like there were a lot of games in this set where I was like, As Foretold is our out here. We have this Restore Balance in hand, and we just really want to hit this As Foretold. So I think if I were to play this deck again, I would go back to playing Simian Spirit Guides in this slot, and I would possibly try, like, maybe turn a Nahiri into an As Foretold, or just, like, move the other Siege into the main deck. Like, the 3-mana filters were really, really reasonable. I think if I were to cut some of these Dead Gauns from the main, I might fit some of them in the sideboard for some more quick interaction, but something to think about. At any rate, thank you everyone very much for watching. We had to finish the entire league without leaving early, and the bus isn't even here yet. I'll be back later this evening, probably about 8 hours from now. And if you didn't catch the other league that we played this morning, we played a really sweet Curses deck that went 3-2. I'm going to hit publish on that on YouTube here momentarily. Thank you everyone for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll catch all y'all around. Everyone has a great start to your weekend. Peace, folks.